Over the past 2 weeks, the ruthless monsoon has brought states across northern India to a standstill. Rivers have swept into towns and entered homes. Buildings have collapsed. Vehicles, bridges and roads have been washed away. From the unimaginable destruction in Himachal Pradesh to shocking visuals from the country's capital, India's monsoon season, running from June to September, is becoming more and more unpredictable and dangerous. Extended rains in India are expected to cause more landslides and extreme threats to life and property. In this episode, we bring you the latest happenings from the affected areas in Indian states. Also see how other countries are struggling with weather-related havoc. In South Korea, the death toll from torrential rains rose to 40, including a dozen people found dead in a submerged underpass. Flooding is threatening lives across the globe. This is the climate crisis at its peak. In India, the state of Himachal Pradesh faces widespread destruction due to heavy rainfall. It's a mountainous state located at the base of the Himalayas. Gushing water has caused widespread devastation in the region. More than 1,000 roads are closed as electricity and power infrastructure are damaged. Since the onset of the monsoon in Himachal Pradesh, 117 people have lost their lives and 12 are missing in rain-related incidents. Manali was one of the worst affected places in the region. This is what a highway in Manali looked like before the incessant rains. But things changed on the 8th of July. When roads and several bridges were washed away by flash floods, cutting off villages. Locals said that school buildings, houses and health centers were swept away by the ferocious Beas River.
मैं स्कूल में पहले पढ़ती थी और मुझे जब ये स्कूल गिरा तो हमें बहुत ज़्यादा बुरा लगा और यहाँ पे बहुत दूर से लोग यहाँ पढ़ने के लिए आते थे, छोटे-छोटे बच्चे, उनका भी पढ़ाई का बहुत ज़्यादा नुकसान हो गया है और मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा दुख लग रहा है कि यहाँ के जो बच्चे थे यहाँ पढ़ने के लिए आते थे वो सब भी मुश्किल हो गया, जो हमारे यहाँ पुरानी यादें थे वो सब भी गिर गया है।
थोड़ा बाहर है, थोड़ा चली गया, पीछे कमरा था ना वो किचन वो बग गया था, जो बर्तन धोने वाला वही बचा और सारा आगे का चली गया ना, जो खाना बनाते थे।
While Manali is grappling with flash floods, landslides damaged the fruit market in the state's capital, Shimla. The apple economy in Shimla is expected to take a hit this season, following non-stop rain that has damaged several key roads in the state's apple belt. Authorities asked traders to shut down a key fruit market in the hill town after a rain-triggered landslide damaged shops. It has created an atmosphere of fear among fruit traders and laborers.
अभी तो असमंजस की स्थिति में सभी हमारे आड़ती भाइयाँ काम कर रहे हैं क्योंकि लगातार कभी पत्थर गिर रहा है, कभी कुछ हो रहा है। पिछले कल यहाँ पर काफ़ी मतलब छत इसकी गिर गई है और एक दो गाड़ी भी उसके नीचे आई है, तो खतरा तो निश्चित तौर पर बना ही हुआ है क्योंकि इसमें कोई भी हमारा चाहे किसान है चाहे हमारा ये लेबर वाला है, किसी को भी मतलब कुछ भी दुर्घटना होने की संभावना अभी बनी हुई है।
In the hill town of Mandi, these women were rendered homeless by the devastating floods. With tears in their eyes, these survivors recount their ordeal.
ऐसे कुछ नहीं लग रहा कि यहाँ मकान था या कुछ था, अब सब कुछ बह गया है मेरा। मैं अकेली रहती हूँ, अपना किसी के घर में झाड़ू लगा लेती हूँ तो किसी के घर में पोछा लगाती थी, तब अपने दिहाड़ी मजदूरी कोई बोल देता था तो दिहाड़ी मजदूरी कर लेती थी। और दिहाड़ी मजदूरी करके चलो इतना आसरा था कि मेरे पास एक कमरा है, थोड़े एक लेटरिन बाथरूम में, खाना बनाने के लिए छोटा किचन है, वहाँ आ जाती थी। अब तो वो भी नहीं रही, अब कहाँ जाऊँ मैं।
Sitting amid the debris of her house, Rukmini keeps weeping. These other women too have lost their homes to floods and they want justice.
अभी यही चाहते हैं हम कि सरकार हमारी मदद करे और हमें थोड़ी हाइट में जगह दे और कि वहाँ पर हमारा मकान बनाया जाए, चाहे हमें एक ही कमरा बना के दे दे, पर हमें वहाँ रह सके अपने बच्चों को लेकर, पर यहाँ से पानी के खतरे से हमें अलग किया जाए। हाँ, क्योंकि ऊपर से ये बाढ़ का खतरा है, नीचे से पानी का है, हम जाएं तो जाएं कहाँ जाना है अपने बच्चों को लेकर। यहाँ सब कुछ खत्म हो चुका है, हमारा कुछ नहीं बचा।
Their plight is heart-wrenching. They've lived near the Bias River for generations. Now they're left without shelter or belongings and barely any food to feed their families. Severe landslides and flash floods triggered by torrential rain have caused massive damage to public infrastructure. Roads and highways in the state have been blocked and tourists have been stranded. These scenes are from the Mandi-Kullu National Highway. It was closed after a boulder fell on an excavator machine. Ironically, the machine was carrying out restoration work following a landslide. Miraculously, the driver escaped with minor injuries. However, traffic had to be stopped. With relief operations in full swing in rain-hit Himachal Pradesh, the state government rescued over 300 Israeli tourists from the Kasol village in Kullu district. The tourists who had gone missing after the rains were rescued after a 35-hour-long operation. Many people who were trapped in different regions of the state were rescued. But what about the voiceless creatures who were left stranded amid the floods?
कई ऐसे एनिमल्स थे जो पानी के साथ बह गए, कई ऐसे थे जिनको खाना भी नहीं मिल पाया।
Meet Kamlesh and his team at Manali Strays, a non-profit organization that works with stray dogs. This house in Manali was surrounded by the swollen Bias River. As you can see, dogs were trapped, with water gushing all around them. The rescuers were quick to jump into action. It took them nearly 48 hours to rescue all these animals.
हमने हर जगह फ़ोन करके देखा कि कहीं से कोई हेल्प हो पाए, लेकिन कहीं से भी कोई हेल्प मिल नहीं पाई। और हम सब लोग यही दुआ कर रहे थे कि कैसे ना कैसे बस स्ट्रक्चर बच जाए और बाद में इसे भगवान का किया कह लो या कोइंसिडेंस कह लो, वहाँ पर लैंडस्लाइड हुआ और पानी का बहाव थोड़ा सा कम हो गया। हमने वहाँ से सारे डॉग्स को निकाल लिया और वो अभी सब हमारे पास हमारे क्लिनिक में हैं और अभी उनके लिए नई जगह ढूंढ रहे हैं।
Approximately 30 dogs and a cow were saved by volunteers. They were brought to an animal shelter where they were given first aid. The distress calls for saving these four-legged animals have doubled in Himachal Pradesh since floods wreaked havoc. India's capital too saw similar scenes. Volunteers were seen rescuing dogs that were stranded in the floods. National Disaster Response Force or NDRF has rescued more than 900 animals, including cows, dogs, goats, rabbits and a prized bull called Pritam, who is said to be worth 1 crore rupees or $122,000. Vast stretches of Delhi were inundated as the Yamuna River water reached its highest in 45 years. On the 13th of July, the Yamuna water level hit a record 208.66 meters. It flooded low-lying areas and left nearly 20,000 people displaced. Residents from settlements in the floodplains of the Yamuna were forced to take shelter in roadside tents amid heavy rain and floods. These videos show men, women, children and animals fleeing from the slums to make tents on the sides of the road. They now live in fear of snakes and other insects.
पूरी रात बैठ के काटना पड़ेगा, बारिश में मच्छर खाएंगे। 3-3 बजे तक जागना पड़ता है रात को, ताकि कोई सांप कीड़ा ना आ जाए।
हमें आइडिया नहीं था कि इतना पानी आएगा हमारे। एकदम से पानी चढ़ा, उस टाइम पे हमने सामान भी नहीं निकाला। थोड़ा बहुत सामान निकाला था, वो पुल के ऊपर रस्सी के थ्रू निकाला था। हमारी बकरियां भैंस वगैरह सब कुछ भीग चुकी थी, पानी में से ही निकाला था हमने।
An unusual sight. On the 18th of July, after wreaking havoc in the capital of India, the Yamuna River that runs through the northern Indian state of Uttar Pradesh rose to 495.8 feet in Agra. The waters of the Yamuna touched the compound walls of the iconic Taj Mahal, causing concern about damage to the 17th century white marble monument. A garden located behind the majestic monument was submerged. The last time the Yamuna approached the World Heritage Site was during the Delhi floods of 1978. Uttarakhand was battered by heavy rainfall in the last few days. This video shows the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Rishikesh. Several people, including patients, are seen wading through water. Visuals also showed the entire hospital premises flooded as people made their way out. A Twitter user hit out at the government over the current situation of hospitals and health infrastructure in the state. In the aftermath of heavy rainfall, several rivers in North India have reached dangerous levels. The Malan River in Kotdwara, Uttarakhand has also displayed its wrath. The overflowing river washed away a bridge built over it. A video has emerged from Kotdwara. It shows the Malan River in spate. The increased velocity of the flowing water led to the collapse of a section of the concrete bridge which links the district to the adjoining area. On the 18th of July, in a village on the Rishikesh-Kedarnath National Highway, a hotel was washed away by flash floods triggered by heavy rains. A police team rushed to the spot and pulled out 2 youth from the debris. The Himalayan state of Uttarakhand has always remained vulnerable to such disasters due to unsustainable development and an increase in pilgrims visiting the shrines. Who can forget what happened in June 2013? A cloudburst in the upper reaches of the Himalayas led to flash floods that claimed over 6,000 lives and swept away several settlements, including the one around the famous Kedarnath shrine. It was described as the worst natural disaster the state has ever witnessed so far. 10 years later, the Himalayan state remains extremely susceptible to disasters, and the number of pilgrims has only increased. Have lessons from the Kedarnath tragedy gone largely unheeded? So far in the month of July, heavy rains have lashed several parts of Gujarat, flooding low-lying areas in cities and villages. Severe waterlogging was seen in the Rajkot district due to incessant rainfall. 70 people have been shifted to safer places. In another video, fire department officials were seen rescuing 4 occupants of a car that got stuck in an underpass in Gujarat's Nadiad after incessant rainfall. Parts of Maharashtra have also been receiving heavy showers. A police station in the Raigad district was flooded. The flood situation in India's northeast is also horrifying. Flash floods in the state of Assam have killed at least 8 people and displaced more than 115,000. This after a river burst its banks earlier this month following heavy monsoon rains. Water from the surging Brahmaputra river has engulfed around 450 villages in 17 districts of the hill state. Large swaths of land in wildlife sanctuaries are also inundated. Extreme rainfall accompanied by deadly flooding hit several other countries as well. South Korea has been reeling under intense rainfall. More than 40 people have lost their lives, including 14 who died when floodwater trapped them in an underpass in the city of Cheongju, casting doubts on the country's efforts to prepare for more intense downpours. Vermont, a state in the northeastern United States, is also witnessing intense rainstorms. Streets turned into rivers, forced evacuations, and prompted officials in Vermont's capital, Montpelier, to close the downtown area. These are some videos that went viral as Typhoon Talim made its way across China's southern provinces. scenes of devastating floods from different parts of the world have brought renewed attention on the dynamics between climate change, urbanization, and infrastructural gaps that have left countries battling deadly floods and landslides.